Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. So today's video is going to be all about a brand new line of makeup at Walmart. The brand is called Found, and I've had a really hard time finding their website, finding information about them. And their Instagram is actually called Discover Found. Yeah, it's a little weird. And their website is also called discoverfound.com. I will have the links below. I'm pretty sure this is exclusive to Walmart. The entire line is actually on walmart.com already, so if you can't find this line in your store, then check online because they do have what looks like the full range. So the thing with this brand is that it's supposed to be more natural, not 100% natural, but 90 to 99% natural. There's a number on the front of the label, and that number indicates the percentage of natural ingredients. So I'm looking at a couple right now. Some say 94%, some say 95%. I'm gonna read to you everything it says on their website because they do have like an Our Story section. You can go read that for yourself. But all the products are formulated without parabens, SLS, I don't really know what SLSs are, synthetic fragrances. Okay, I just now looked up how to pronounce this word and I forgot how it's pronounced. Phthalates, I've always called it like phthalates, PEGs, and mineral oils. And what I also like about their website, on the not found list section of the website, it has definitions of different ingredients, like ingredients that we don't really know all about, like we don't really know what they're used for in cosmetics and stuff. It gives you definitions of what those ingredients are and like what they do. So I think it's really cool that they dig down deep and really kind of define what it means to not have certain ingredients, because I don't really feel like anyone else does that. I feel like everything just says, oh, it's sulfate free, or it's paraben free, phthalate free, however that word's pronounced. But unless you do your research, no one really knows what that means. But I'm gonna go ahead and start with the kind of get ready with me first impression try on or whatever. So let's get started. This is the eyeshadow palette in the number 10. I don't really know what it's called, 10 Nude. This is just, you know, your neutrals, basic eyeshadows. You know, you've seen this in every eyeshadow palette, especially in the drugstore. But they also had one that had more pinks in it. Both of them just seem very basic to me. They just seem like been there, done that. I feel like everything's been done. So this is $14.88, so $15 for 12 shades. I feel like that's kind of pricey for the drugstore. I mean, I guess that's kind of the approach that every brand's taking. I just feel like it's so overdone and I'm so tired of these colors. I feel like I'm past these colors now. Like I'm more into like playing with color and, you know, finding my niche. Like I feel like my niche right now is like berry and pinky tones. So I'm gonna go into the matte skin tone colored eyeshadow down there and pat this all over my eye. So it is applying nicely. I mean, it does seem to be pretty pigmented, but not overly pigmented. Like when I swatch these, they're not super buttery or super soft or anything. They're kind of hard. So let's go into this matte tan shade now. Okay, so that's applying pretty nicely. I'm kind of getting the feeling so far just with swatches that the mattes are gonna be better than the shimmers. I guess I'm gonna go in with this darker shade, this satin, kind of like bronzy brown shade. It's very buildable. You have to layer it up to actually see color. But I do find that I have to like actually swirl my brush into the product like this, like to get a lot of product on there. I can't just like tap it in there and get a good amount because they are so hardly packed in there. Now I'm gonna go into this like satin gray shade down here. That one doesn't look too bad on the eyes. It looks kind of like a brown. I'm gonna go into the matte chocolatey brown. I'm just gonna lightly put this in the outer V. I'm not gonna really put it in the crease at all. Let's do a little bit of the matte black. What have I done? Like, where was that going? Ugh, I feel really sloppy today and I really don't know why. Moving on to the brow bone highlight, I'm gonna take the matte skin tone color again. It has a bit of a yellow undertone, which I like. Pop that right below the brow bone. I do like it for the brow bone highlight. So I did get a new eyeliner from the brand, and I actually got a navy blue because I feel like, I mean, I know that everyone gets black and I probably should have gotten black because it's the most wearable. I just wanted something different. Okay, so I'm back with some liner, mascara, and brows. I think this is gonna be kind of pretty. Like I didn't really have much hope for it in the beginning, but it's looking pretty good. So I guess we're gonna go ahead and move on to the face because I think I'm gonna do the eyeliner on the lower lash line and stuff after the face. That's what I normally do anyway. Okay, so moving on to face primer. I have the Smoothing Face Primer. This is 90% natural. It says it blurs the look of fine lines and pores. It has bilberry and peach fruit extracts. This is clear, look at that. So it looks like a gel. Does it have a smell to it? It looks like a gel. It should have a smell. I was hoping it would smell like peaches because it had like a big old peach on the front. Oh, dang it. Ooh, it actually feels really watery. I was expecting it to feel a little bit thicker where it's supposed to fill in pores. Okay, so far it's not doing anything to my pores. So I'm gonna take some and concentrate it on my pores and just tap this in. This is usually how pore minimizing products work. You just have to tap them into your pores. Yeah, that's not doing anything. Maybe it will look better once I have my foundation on. Maybe that's when you start seeing the difference. Okay, so moving on to some foundaciones. This is the Nourishing Liquid Foundation with raspberry oil. This is $13.88 on Walmart. You get 1 fluid ounce of product. So it comes in 8 different shades. Not very good. Mineral pigments perfect the look of skin with buildable coverage, while raspberry oil seed esters and clover flower moisturize and hydrate for a silky radiant complexion. So I got the shade 130 light medium. This looked like it was a really nice like warm yellow undertone. This is too dark for me, so bear that in mind. So moving back to the primer, my face does feel very soft now. It actually did kind of set to almost a powder finish, like as much of a powder finish as a primer can have. There's what the consistency and the color looks like. As you can see, it is thicker. It's not dripping or anything down my hand. It's not super watery. It just feels really creamy. So it kind of turns out to be a little bit too orange on my skin tone, but I don't know if I want to go in with a white foundation mixer because I don't want it to affect the results. I can't talk. So yeah, I can still see my blemishes over here, but I would say it's a medium coverage right off the bat. This definitely does oxidize a little bit to be more orange. So here's the swatch that's been on my hand for a little while that I've been working with. I just now swatched out a new one and it's a lot more yellow, as you can see. Yeah, there you go. Okay, that was a lot faster of an application than the sponge. So I'm gonna go back into this side and try to build this up, I guess with the sponge again. So it definitely is buildable. I actually want to see something. Let's see how this builds up on this side with the brush. Okay, so there's what a second layer looks like. It looks pretty flawless. Like it's not full coverage, but keep in mind the stuff that I have to cover up over here is like texture. So like these are like scabby places, and it is setting down to be more of like a soft matte finish. My pores don't look emphasized or anything. It's not too matte, like it's not a flat matte. And I do want to say I'm not typically a matte finish kind of person. Like I just don't really like it on my skin's texture because it just shows everything, I feel like. Moving on to some concealer. This is a stick concealer. No, this is a cream lipstick. Now we have the stick concealer. So this is the full coverage concealer. I got the shade 310 Fair. I believe this is the lightest shade. Yep. And it's actually not very light. It's got a very strong yellow undertone. It's a very dry formula. It's not very creamy at all. This may be something that's better for like blemishes. I don't really know if it's gonna be good for the under eye area because it might be too drying, but I'm just gonna go ahead and put some on. Yeah, it's not very movable. It's not all that easy to blend out. Let's try it with my foundation brush again. There we go. So this is definitely a concealer that works better with a brush. It's very matte. There's no luminosity at all. I would say it's like a medium to full coverage. My eyes are all messed up right now. I'm seeing blurry spots everywhere. God, am I going blind? So this is the contour and highlighting stick. This is $9.88 at Walmart. So there are 3 different shades. There's light, medium, and tan. So I got the shade 410 light. Here's how much product you get on both ends. I think this is a little bit more than the Kim Kardashian sticks. Let's do the highlighting stick first. This looks like the exact same shade as the concealer. I'm having a hard time blending this out. It's not wanting to move. Okay, so there is the highlighting stick. That did basically nothing. Let's see what it feels like on my hand. Okay, this is very dry. This is not super creamy at all. Oh, it's already breaking. Oh! It just Kim Kardashian sticked me. I hope I have better luck with the contour side. This is not a contour shade. This is very orange. So I don't think I'm gonna actually contour with this. I may just like use it as a bronzer, but I'm not impressed with the highlighting side so far. So I'm just gonna put this where I would apply bronzer. Oh my God. And it's really dry. I have a feeling this is gonna completely ruin my makeup. Oh my God, it's moving my foundation around. No, it's not even blending out with a sponge. Yeah, I'm already gonna say right off the bat, this is a no-go. So moving on to the Radiant Illuminating Drops. So there's the pink shade and then there's this one. This one's pretty bronze. It's pretty golden, so I don't really know if this is gonna actually look good on my skin tone, but it feels really watery and liquidy. Like it doesn't feel like it's gonna pack a punch or anything. This might be pretty just for like a natural glow. So it does give a very subtle glow. It's not really showing up all that much, especially with a sponge. Oh, and it's moving my stuff around. No, it's moving all my foundation around. Oh no. I try to go in under my eyes with my sponge and try to blend it a little bit better. Like there's a little spot right there. Can you guys see what it did? It completely moved around everything and now it's super cakey and powdery. No! I really don't know what to do right now. I'm gonna go in with this setting spray real quick. I'm gonna talk about it at the end too, but this is the Dewy Makeup Setting Spray. I'm gonna see if this will kind of rehydrate my skin. Oh, I'm eating it. Moving on to the eye defining eyeliner. Again, this is in the shade navy blue. Hopefully this is super creamy. Oh, it's not. That's several like back and forth swatches, and it's not even showing up all that much. This is seriously the most dry eyeliner I've ever used. This is ridiculous. I'm gonna actually press down hard. Oh my God, this is so stupid. I do kind of want to do the navy blue in the waterline thing. So I'm gonna go in with the Palladio Herbal Precision Liner in the shade navy blue. So I'm gonna go back into the palette and let's take that taupey gray brown shade that we used on the eyelid. Smudge that right below the eyeliner just to kind of smoke it out. And then I'm gonna go into that satin bronzy brown shade. So I'm gonna go into this shimmery shade at the top. This is like a champagne color. This has a slight frost to it, but I mean, it's not bad. It's just not great. Okay, going back to the face, which I'm actually pretty scared to mess with. So I'm gonna go ahead and set my face with a powder. This is the translucent loose setting powder. It has a slight yellow tint to it. So there's what that looks like. That's actually really pigmented and it actually looks pretty white. This looks like it's gonna be a really good like baking type powder. So as you can see, it does go on translucent. There is no white cast or anything when I put it on. So it does feel pretty smooth and very, very soft and finely milled. So I do like that about it. That did apply nicely. I can't really say much about it right now. My face looks pretty cakey. It does look very, very matte though. I forgot to mention, I have oily skin, but it's actually pretty normalized. I have the Sculpt and Define Contour Palette. This is in the number 10 shade, but I believe this is the only shade they have. It says light to medium. But these are all matte. You do have a lighter shade and then 2 contour shades. These are both pretty cool toned. Like I thought maybe this one in the middle would be used for a bronzer, but they're both pretty cool tones. The going theme with all the powders, with the eyeshadows and this included, is that they're not soft, they're not buttery. So I'm gonna use the lighter powder in here to set under my eyes. It's not very brightening. Oh my God, my face looks so matte and so powdery. Ugh. So I'm gonna go into this lighter middle shade right here and contour. I'm gonna go back here and sculpt. Okay, why is that showing up warm on my face? Hell's bells, that looks intense. In person, it doesn't really, okay, yeah, it does look like that. Okay, does that side look too intense on camera? I think we're good now. Okay, so for blush, I have this Baked Illuminating Blush. This is in the shade Pink Glow, so this is like the middle shade. So here's what it looks like. It's actually really, really pretty. And then here's what the swatch looks like. So it's pink, but it's got kind of like a peachy aspect to it. Okay, so this is the type of blush that you could definitely go overboard with very fast, as I just did. Like, it's not shimmery, but it does have a sheen. I think this is probably a decent product on its own. So next I have a highlighting palette. So this is the Instant Glow highlighting palette. So you have this yellow gold, you have a pink, and then you have this like taupey, cool tone, almost gray highlight. It seems like there's a little bit of a champagne tone to it. So I'm gonna go ahead and put the taupey one on just to show you guys what it looks like. I'll go back in with the other ones. Well, let me swatch them for you guys first. So again, not super buttery or soft, pigmented, creamy. There's what the shades look like. They actually look pretty powdery. I actually feel like the taupey one has more of a reflex to it. It has more shine. Okay, so there is the cool tone taupey one. It's actually not that bad. It does have a really pretty shine to it, but there's not really a shimmer to it. It's more of like a frost, but it's not that bad. It just kind of gives me like an ashy look. You can kind of see a stripe when I turn my head a certain way. It looks like a stripe is going down my face. So I'm gonna go into the pink one on the other side. So again, kind of same story. It does have a really pretty sheen and glow. Again, if you turn your head a certain way or on my face, I can see a stripe, but this isn't bad. So I'm gonna go into the yellow gold and try to neutralize these out a little bit. Let's see what it looks like on top of this one. They just don't sit very well on the skin. So this is the Satin Cream Lipstick. I have the shade 105 Ginger. A really pretty like mauve-y, like Kylie Jenner nude. This is so dry. It takes me like 5 minutes to layer this up and get full coverage on my lips. It has a really funny smell, like a Crayola kind of smell. Okay, so here's the lipstick 5 minutes later. It's actually a very, very pretty color though. I love the color. It does have more of like a satin finish. It's not all that creamy. It does take forever and a day to apply. So the last thing I have is the Dewy Makeup Setting Spray. It says it locks makeup in for a natural dewy finish. So I really do like the sprayer on this. It's powerful, but it's fine. I'm gonna press my sponge into my skin and really like push everything in there. My skin does not look dewy. So I think I'm just gonna close it off here and give you guys updates in the description. Okay, let's start with the palette. The pigmentation's not all there. It's not super blendable. They're not, you know, super soft or pigmented or creamy or anything. Like, I do like the look that I got today. It's very smoky. I feel like you can get that with pretty much anything, and I don't feel like you need this palette to do that. I just feel like for $15 you can do so much better, because you can get a 35 pan eyeshadow palette from Morphe for $22. 𝐄𝐁𝐀𝐓𝐄𝐒 has 𝐬𝐻 palettes, which are $15. You have 35 shades in those. The eyeliner is a definite F. It's a no-go. I've already put it up in the package to return it. The foundation is promising. I don't really know if all the problems I'm having are from the foundation. I really do feel like it's from the cream products I put on top. It's like a medium to full coverage. The finish is like a soft matte finish. It actually looks pretty good on the skin. The full coverage concealer, definite no-go. It's very, very dry. If you have super oily skin, like a super oily under eye area, this might work for you. This is definitely something that's better for blemishes like acne and stuff, where it's just so dry and it's just, it doesn't want to move around and stuff. That might come in handy when it comes to putting it on blemishes, because it might not fade. I don't like the formula. It's just not creamy enough for me. The translucent setting powder is definitely something I will keep trying, because I do think it has potential. The baked illuminating blush is definitely something that I feel like has potential. It's a really pretty sheen. It's a really pretty color. The smoothing face primer just isn't anything special. I don't know, it didn't fill in my pores or anything. The Universal Sculpt and Define contour palette, I just don't know about it. These powders are just so dry and hard, and they're just not creamy and soft and, you know, super easy to work with. The lipstick, it looks pretty on. It does feel comfortable. It's not too drying or anything. The highlighting and contouring stick is an absolute no-go. It is way too dry, not blendable. It messes up your foundation. I do not like it. The Radiant Illuminating Drops are very underwhelming. It's really, really sheer. It doesn't give a pretty glow. The color selection sucks. I wish they had different colors and a different formula. Once you blend it out, it pretty much blends out to nothing. The highlighting palette's not horrible. Again, the quality is very dry. It's not creamy and soft. It does give a really pretty sheen. The colors are they're kind of weird. So it's not horrible. I don't really know if I recommend it, because there are so many highlighters in the drugstore that are better than this. It's just kind of like meh. And last, the setting spray did not do anything. Like, even before, when I was trying to recover the mess that I had made, like before I powdered and stuff, it didn't even do anything then. There's no dewiness to it that's from the setting spray. My face is still very, very matte. And I was hoping where it said dewy natural finish, like it wouldn't be so dewy to the point where it made me look oily. So I was kind of hoping that that would kind of balance it out. So that is it for my first impression review over the Found Beauty collection at Walmart. I haven't seen anyone talk about this brand yet, so I hope this gives you guys some direction, because I had none whatsoever when going into this. But the quality of the products just aren't up to par for my standards. I will say I have gotten one or two comments before, people saying that I'm too negative. It's not about being negative. It's not about being mean. It's just business. Like, I'm just reviewing things. It's like people want honesty, but they don't want you to be too honest. I'm never gonna distort my review or my opinion of something just because some people might get offended by it. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. So thank you so much for watching and hanging out with me today. Thumbs up if you like this video, subscribe, follow me on all my social media. All the links are below, as well as all the products I talked about today. And I hope you guys have a beautiful day. Mwah.